By now, it is crystal clear, if you have been following the Kenyan politics, that there is a very big rivalry between DP Rigathi Gachagua and the Chief Minister Musalia Mudavadi. But did you know that this kind of rivalry was engineered by William Ruto himself? And it is good for him because it helps him to survive politically. Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to look at the reasons why William Ruto is playing a divide and rule game within Kenya Kwanza and how it is helping him politically. Before we do this, welcome again, and if you're watching for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. In any kind of a coalition politics, you understand that several parties are coming and they are coming with their demands. So William Ruto knew very well that some of these parties just came in as a matter of convenience, and some of these leaders would have a feeling of entitlement. William Ruto, you all know, is a very crafty politician. He has learned from the best politicians in the country, the former President Daniel Moi, and now the enigma Raila Amolo Odinga. And he's practicing everything that he learned from them. Number one reason why William Ruto has created a divide and rule and a tension between Rigathi Gachagua and Musalia Mudavadi is to ensure that he averts any kind of being held hostage. Ruto understands that any time a politician gives you many votes and they help you to ascend to power, immediately you form government, then they will later come and want you to agree and heed to all their demands. You've seen Rigathi Gachagua in churches claiming that they need to be given the lion's share of public appointments. And he says that as Mount Kenya, they do not need any apology, even if the media would report that they want many appointments, because he's saying they stood with William Ruto and they gave him many votes. So William Ruto understands that if Rigathi Gachagua is not checked, then William Ruto is not going to survive. And for him to do this, he brought in very closely Musalia Mudavadi, so that when Rigathi Gachagua wants to grow horns, he knows there is a twin brother here, so that he does not feel like he is the only one to go with maybe by 2027. You've studied Rigathi Gachagua. Of recent, you heard him telling Sakaja that Sakaja should go slow so that he doesn't interfere with Mount Kenya businesses when it comes as far as closing the nightclubs are concerned and moving the long distance vehicles from Central to Green Park. So he is behaving as someone who wants to hold William Ruto hostage, and this is the reason why William Ruto brought in Musalia Mudavadi, so that he can be checked. The second reason, ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto knew the relationship between the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, and he learned from it. Sometimes he wants to settle down to implement the pre-election pledges that he gave to Kenyans, but his deputy is fighting for his space and he will continue politicking, and you've seen it. It is very, very synonymous with Rigathi Gachagua. If William Ruto goes head on and start telling him off to stop politicking, then he will run back to his constituency and tells him that tell them that this man whom we voted for is now trying to give us his back. So how does Ruto do it? He brought in Musalia Mudavadi so that if there is a message that he wants to pass to Rigathi Gachagua without direct confrontation, he will send Musalia Mudavadi. And you have seen this before. Musalia is telling the Kenya Kwanza team that it is time we avoid politics because elections are over. We now need to get down to implementing all that we gave to Kenyans. The other reason why it is working for William Ruto and why he engineered the rivalry between the two is that in any kind of coalition government, you do not allow the coalition partners to read in good terms, because politics is dynamic. Tomorrow they can gang up and reduce you to shells. Because if Musalia Mudavadi gangs up and unites with the Rigathi Gachagua, they can be a force to reckon with. And William Ruto knows this very well, that politicians are funny. Today they are friends, tomorrow they are enemies. Today they are enemies, tomorrow they are friends. So for you to avoid any kind of your coalition partners uniting against you, you ensure that you create a rift between them. And this is one thing that William Ruto is enjoying, if you ask me. He knows very well that Rigathi Gachagua looks at Musalia Mudavadi as a replacement and as an enemy. And Musalia Mudavadi is also looking at Rigathi Gachagua as someone who is a rival, because at the center and at the height of this rivalry, William Ruto has stage managed something to look like both of them are in a balancing act as to who can be the best running mate in 2027. So each and every person is fighting for his space, and William Ruto is doing this. He doesn't want them to read from the same page because they can gang up. It is also very important to understand that by each of them trying to outdo each other, they are consolidating their support. And if you ask Musalia Mudavadi or Rigathi Gachagua, both of them agree that William Ruto should do his one term and do another second term. So as they consolidate their support, they are doing it for William Ruto. The reason why they must consolidate their support is this. Rigathi Gachagua understands that when things are wrong, he will run back to his people. It has been the nature of Kenyan politics. You will run and tell them that, you see, my people, you are being targeted. And Musalia Mudavadi too. So William Ruto seems to have told them that, you see, Rigathi, consolidate your support so that we get to 2027 together. And this is the reason why Rigathi Gachagua keeps on trying to unite his Mount Kenya leaders. Musalia Mudavadi did the same. You've seen those efforts in trying to unite his people. Seems like they've been told, wewe unganisha watu wako so that tuende pamoja. And as they do this, William Ruto is a happy man because Mudavadi is working to consolidate support for him. Rigathi Gachagua is also doing this. And the last one, if you ask me, is that when these coalition partners are looking at each other as rivals and are trying to outdo each other politically, it is advantageous to William Ruto because come 2027, he will be spoiled for choice. It is very dangerous if you approach another election year with only one person in mind. Let's say that he's only looking at Rigathi Gachagua as the only replacement. It can be very bad. If he quits, if he becomes sick, if he decides to rebel, what will happen? So William Ruto would want Musalia Mudavadi to stand on his own, Rigathi to stand on his own. But it's unfortunate that people like Kithure Kindiki have been given very busy offices, and so they cannot politic anymore. But for Rigathi Gachagua and Musalia Mudavadi, William Ruto will be weighing them, because politics is about numbers. If Musalia Mudavadi will succeed in uniting all the leaders and is in charge of Western votes, then you never know. William Ruto can easily drop Rigathi Gachagua. But I can still tell you without any fear of contradiction that it is William Ruto who engineered the rift and the rivalry between Rigathi Gachagua and Musalia-Mudavadi. In fact, if you go further, you will realize that even between Musalia-Mudavadi and Wetangula, there is a rift. Between Rigathi Gachagua and some of the central Mount Kenya leaders, there is a rift. William Ruto can only survive if there is divisions within Kenya Kwanza, as long as the people are united. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, but that is my take.